coming soon. Until then, enjoy the vibes.
My baby, your body's on fire. Hey, body's on fire. Johnson. My baby, your body's on fire. Hey, body's on fire. My baby, your body's on fire. Yeah. This one I can do with the jabba. Me, I no get time at the jabba. Dada cover my face, calling me lava. Biggie man, we know the where I money, what's it called? Chewbacca, all depend. We can ride the wind, and the beat, die for nothing. My nigga, what's it called? Chewbacca, all depend. We can ride the wind, and the beat, die for nothing. Make you no say anything when you do, they must commend it.
I can't come and kill myself.
Anything when I did do, I did try to do on my way.
I can't come and kill myself.
Plenty survive we face, just to make sure money day. All my people that go say I know one buy, I know one time, I know one payment. I want enjoy, I want jump life, I want buy me food, I want build house, I still want to know. Tell me, what what's it come? Chewbacca, all the belly, they get it, why the money, and the feet, die for nothing. My nigga, what's it come? Chewbacca, all the belly, they get it, why the money, and no feet. Different things them happening, schemes and packaging. In a one night for shows I'm juggling, flow like the ocean, my boat I'm paddling. Jadashin up Ella, that's my bro, my family, goes in chains. When it comes to money, I take concentrate. Make I tell you straight, you are not my mate. If you become mission, I be head of state. For my people, then go say, I know one fight, I know one time, I know one payment. I want enjoy, I want jump life, I want buy motor, I want build house, I still want to know. Tell me, my nigga, what's it come? Chewbacca, all the belly, they can get, ride the money, and the beat, die for nothing. My nigga, what's it come? Chewbacca, all the belly, the galley, ride the women, and no beat, die for nothing. Oluwabana,
All right, good night to everybody. I'm not even going to start like speaking to everybody in the chat or anything like that one by one because I want to make this video like 10 minutes or less. So I'm asking a question and I will wait for my response. So if you know, I doubt Jay Wilson is in the chat. So if he listens to this video, maybe he can give me a response on his video. So I'm listening to his video and he was saying that he was really upset about the situation with oh, my audio is out. Oh Jesus. Okay, can y'all hear me now? It's choppy. Oh God. Okay, hold on. Let me leave out and come right back. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully, y'all should hear me. Press 1 as long as you can hear me. Thank you for letting me know it's choppy. Hopefully, it's better. So, uh, okay, so 1, you can hear me. Is it still choppy? Okay, y'all can hear me good. Okay. So, I was listening to Jay Wilson, and he was saying that he doesn't like that this information with Tita came out, and he agrees with what Reed said, which I didn't even hear what Reed said or whatever. And so he was like, I don't hate anybody, but I just don't think it should have ever been brought to YouTube. So I'm trying to figure out, is he talking to me? Because I didn't go and dig this up. And even if I did go dig it up, Tita has been nasty as fuck to a lot of people. So I'm just a little confused if right now we're supposed to have, well, maybe some people do have a level of sympathy towards her right now. I feel I don't have any sympathy for her. I just don't. Like, that lady has been nothing but nasty to me for years and years and years. She has spoke on me many, many times. So now that she's going through a situation, I'm not out here like dropping her mugshot or even putting out her government name. But if somebody puts the information out, I'm going to verify it to find out is it true or not. So I just want to know, are you talking to me, or who are you talking to? Now, I would have called you and asked you, but after the 5011th time, did you say little stuff like, stay off them phones, or you think I'm going to be on the phone with Shelly and do this when I know mad day come? Like, if you keep on saying little stuff like that, that'll just make me say, well, any conversation that I'm going to have with somebody, I'm going to do it publicly, because I always catch it. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't speak on it. And I agree with that. And that's another thing too. What makes her special is correct. I mean, or is it because a child is involved in the situation? Because when other people went to jail on YouTube, people made it their content. Nobody said that when it was Tracy. I mean, how many people did commentary on Tracy? How many people did commentary on VS? You know what I mean? So we're supposed to not do commentary because this lady chose to sit there and get high all day and take pills and shit and nod off. And for the ones of y'all who like her, I get it. I get it. Y'all like her, but some of us don't. And I'm not gonna be like tiptoeing around about the shit. I don't care whether her kids is listening or not. Like, if her kids is listening in, that they can listen and understand that your mother was very messy. She was very fucking messy. He was talking about J Dunn. Okay. So I'll give him. I'll wait and just see if he'll respond. I'm just gonna chill because sometimes maybe I'll be taking things a little the wrong way. I'm not mad or anything, but and I don't hate her. It's not like it's not like I'm trying to do some harm to the lady. Um, do I think that people should give her money or put money on her books? No, because I think that's rewarding bad behavior. Giving her money and putting money on her books, you know what that's like? The women who go and have babies and then they go suffocate the motherfucking babies, and then they say, oh, I had postpartum, and people put money on their books and give them money, and then they come home and they have another baby and smother the motherfucker. See, no. I don't care what y'all do, but I'm not giving a penny to nobody who made a choice. An adult who made a choice. That child didn't. And this is stuff that she chose to film on live. She chose to be live. She chose to put kids on the internet. She chose to have YouTubers calling her phone to wake her up, babysitting for her. Okay? So for all the people to feel some type of way, prove it by supporting her. Because I know a lot of y'all talk that shit, but when it really comes down to supporting people when they get into some shit, the only support y'all give is the fucking letters that you write in about the people to keep them behind the motherfucking prison walls. So miss me with the bullshit. Miss me with the bullshit. Let me see what RY says. RY says, here's where I'm confused. He said this story shouldn't have been brought to YouTube, but the story about S. Hutchinson's family member was brought to YouTube and nobody was being that compassionate at all. They've allowed people to come over on their panels and platforms and say crazy shit about it. Right? So that's why I said, to me, it's just a bunch of hypocrites. And not because you like somebody or she's so-called sweet to you, but nasty as fuck to other people. And then let me tell you something. Megabus is going to make me end up doing probably 90 days swimming safety and keep on continuing to talk about it. Why? Because you keep speaking for this woman and you're not doing nothing but making matters worse. That's all you're doing, because you're out here basically trying to threaten people and tell them what they can't talk about. That's only going to make people talk about it. That's why I'm talking about it now. And then even the people who say that other people shouldn't talk about it, they shouldn't even respond to it, because it's just going to keep on going in a cycle. And if the only thing that makes me want to simmer down any from the story is because I know I have fellow content creators who do care about her and do like her. But understand, if you don't want people to put if you don't want other people to speak on you, don't speak on other people. I don't care how small it is. I don't care how major it is, because I don't ever talk about people who don't talk about me. Y'all don't see me do commentary on people that I don't know. But there are so many people where I don't speak on them. I don't say nothing about them. I haven't done nothing to them. I don't even know them. So I'm going to always sit back in the cut. And then when something like this happens, I'm supposed to then have sympathy. I'm supposed to feel sorry. Y'all didn't have motherfucking sympathy when Pay ran away and y'all was out here doing commentary about motherfucking Pay running away. That shit was funny as hell to y'all. So now all of a sudden y'all care because this lady was out here nodding off and shit. Miss me with that bullshit. I guess I'm the mean person because I'm the only one that's gonna be honest about this shit. How many people have Tita been on this internet and been nasty to? And then you got Megabus running around here really making matters worse. And then I'm hearing that somebody had her so out of her body that she decided to cam up. She haven't cammed up since God knows when. And they said she showed herself driving. I said, damn, I didn't even know they made cars where her feet could reach the pedals. But then I forgot shit. Just like they got the little motherfucking, the Little Women of Atlanta. They got motherfucking pedal extensions and shit. She probably got that shit on her motherfucking car. And while she in Atlanta, that's the least she should do is join that motherfucking cast. That's about the only where they could probably use your ass. Because don't nobody want to be bothered with you on YouTube. Don't nobody want to be bothered on you for no other fucking TV show. Thank you so much for the super chat. I truly do appreciate it. Yeah, I can imagine, but you don't see me contacting the baby's father. You don't see me posting no pictures of that baby. I haven't mentioned that baby's name. That's a huge difference. I ain't mentioned no name. And the stuff that happened, it didn't happen. So no, that's really not the same. PDP says a girl in the black sector has been roasted for years for her baby wandering out front and walk to McDonald's. Absolutely. I'm just not, I'm sorry, sweeping some shit underneath the motherfucking rug. Now, If my son did it, that would be one thing, but it didn't happen. Because if it happened, all of these calls to this person and that person, no. You talking the difference of somebody on fucking the internet live streaming while babysitting. Y'all talking about somebody who left kids, at least for what I'm hearing, left kids at the park. And we supposed to sweep it underneath the rug. No. It don't mean I'm gonna sit here and run it down to the motherfucking ground, but ain't nobody gonna threaten me and tell me what the fuck I am and cannot talk about. For those ones where it's too much for them, the what was it, 13 people who unsubscribe, I'm not mad with you. You know, anybody else who feels that way, you can take your subscription and go the fuck on. But I'll be damned if a person who I've been nothing but kind to, and they've had continued to give me their fucking ass to kiss, and because they've been negligent and somebody lost their life behind it, I'm supposed to let some shit sweep underneath the rug because of that? Hell no. Why you stay mad? The same reason why you watching me. Bye bye. See, the problem is y'all think y'all can talk shit, and when I respond back, then I'm mad. I'm not mad at all. Obviously, y'all mad. I mean, we got people on here threatening to go to lawyers. So tell me who's mad. I'm responding to what's being said. He made fun of a young girl who spoke her truth against her father. The nerve. I don't know what that means. Thank you so much, Swag. I truly appreciate it. I'm not really for sure who that person is, but you know, and at the end of the day, I'm not mad with nobody. But what I am saying is if something comes out and somebody confirms it, you're not going to sit there and threaten nobody. That's only going to make somebody continue to talk about it. Because I'm not going to have nobody threatening me. If you tell me what not to do, I'm going to do it just because you're telling me that I can't do it or what you're going to do. So it's better yet to say, hey, could you leave us alone? And I could be like, you know what? I can leave it alone. But when you sit there and tell somebody you're going to give the information to somebody's family's lawyer and all that other bullshit, do it. Let me see. What happened to if it's brought to YouTube, we're going to talk about it. And the coin keeps them here. I don't know, Skillet. But even with that, did I bring this to YouTube, or was I on YouTube and it was news on YouTube that she was in prison? So what did I do? They say trust but verify. So what's the problem? What's the problem? I just don't understand how some people get a fucking exemption. And you got them on here bragging about being motherfucking high. This is why people continue to turn a blind eye to so many situations, because people do the most fucked up shit, and then everybody will sit around and act like nothing happened. It doesn't mean beat her down for it, because she's serving her time. So don't nobody have to throw it up in her fucking face. But if we're confirming some shit, this is what we do. Didn't y'all say everybody's each other's content? So because she's on vacation in prison, she's exempt from being commentary? I don't think so. Well, that part too, Grammy Love, I agree. Well, I'll be right there to listen. Right. And then I just heard that today. And even during that time, people should have been, if you really supporting her, you should have been supporting her by telling her you might want to give up babysitting And I ain't even gonna say she should even be doing Uber or Uber Eats or whatever, because if you that tired that you just falling asleep that quick and you don't know it, you got a sleeping condition, either you're over medicated, you got some other shit going on, or you haven't had sleep, you sleep deprived or something, because you shouldn't be able to just lay down and just go to sleep like that and completely forget what the hell you got going on. And if it's because of health issues, that's why the government gives you something called a check for you to sit your ass down, and you don't got to do all this extra shit. Because if you're gonna be disabled, sit down and be disabled. Pick a choice. See, now y'all making me fucking get rude about it. Yeah, that part too. It's in the public, and but I'm trying to figure out how does Tita get a pass when every other person who had to go to jail or had to go to court, we didn't all had to hear about it. How many times did we have to hear about MU and going to court with Kiki and all of these different things? We heard about Fabe and this one with court and this one taking this one. Come on now. But because it's her. How many times did we hear about Apartment 22? How many times did they bring her information here about a child being in her care? So man, miss me with that bullshit. But don't threaten me. Now I can give the lady the benefit of the doubt that she's in a place that I wouldn't wish on nobody. And I'm quite sure that the guilt behind what happened, that's a lifelong, basically a death sentence is what that is, right? So at the end of the day, I don't gotta beat her down. I'm not out here making fucking posters and protesting not to let her back on YouTube. Ain't nobody did no petitions and shit. Like, what do y'all all work the fuck up for? See, and this stuff like that too. And I looked at that like, yes, I do feel sorry for the kids' parents, but your babysitter is telling you that she's on these drugs, which is basically equivalent to street heroin, and you're thinking it's a good idea to drop the kid off for a couple of days, family members or not. And see, even some people might say that that's being nasty or rude, but it's the truth. So either you're gonna, no, it wasn't in the bathtub, it was in the pool. She was outside with the child playing. That's what the article says. So, you know, and like I said earlier too, all of these situations, no matter how bad they are, they're teachable moments. They're teachable moments, and we can learn from them. It's the summertime. I bet you everybody going to think twice when they go out there to the pool with their kids, just by this situation right here. They're going to think twice, and maybe that will save a life this summer. So look at it on that end. Look at it on the positive side. Ain't nobody beat her down. Ain't nobody said they want to fight her. Ain't nobody said they want to take her life. But we got her friend that's running around here pretending that she's so concerned about her, but yet she's telling everybody all her friends' family's information. When the son going to prom or whatever, the daughter and what the daughter's saying, and then people said you ain't even speaking on behalf of them. But see, you didn't think nobody else had numbers. You didn't think that anybody else was on the first responders in the front line. See, because you always think that everybody's your friend. Nobody likes you. I haven't found one person who genuinely likes you for you. Every single person likes you because either they feel sorry for you, or because they gotta pretend to be nice to you because they don't want to get doxxed and all that extra shit, or because you're giving them cash apps or super chats, or you're paying them to be on their panel. But nobody genuinely really wants to be bothered with you. And low key, you probably mad because the difference is, and why you were saying, but when I was, because the difference is if you were in jail right now and Tita was out, nobody would give a fuck. Nobody would be trying to put no cash apps through for you. Nobody would be writing no letters. You probably haven't even wrote her out one single letter yet. Because if you really gave a fuck, or you was really trying to do something, you should have been trying to put together some support behind the scenes for your friend. But you didn't do that. But now you want to run around and take this opportunity to panel hop and make yourself look like the motherfucking savior. Bitch, no, you're not. No, you're not. And like I said too, when you're sending your child to a child care center and they have their license versus somebody who don't have a license, and you wonder what's the difference, yes, there should be a difference in the price, but there's also going to be a difference because that person who doesn't have their license, they don't have to have safety locks on doors and cabinets and windows and all that other stuff. Nobody's checking behind them to make sure that the smoke detector is working, the carbon monoxide detector is working. So one child lost his life, and yes, that's really, really bad. That is awful. But it could be a loss where it could be several children and several adults because Tita's in the care of other people and she can't take care of her goddamn self. How about that? No, I'm not going to sweep it underneath the rug, okay? So maybe what we need to do is pay attention about who the hell you're sending your children off to. And if your kids are in daycare, is your daycare center person, do they have their license? Has their license been renewed for the next year? Let's go ahead and learn from it. How about that? No, we won't act like it didn't happen because somebody needs to learn something from this. It can be sad all day, but if we ain't learning, if ain't nobody learning nothing from it, then I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, you got to teach them to learn at an early age because the older they get, the harder it gets to the point where they end up having the fear. And the thing with small children, and everybody knows this, little kids, most of them, they love water so much. It doesn't matter whether it's a bathtub, a pool, or a beach, a lake. They love water. If you've ever had small children, and you'll know, you could go to take a bath, your kids hear you run that water, they start taking their clothes off. I really have yet to come across any baby who don't like water. They love to take bubble baths and all that other kind of stuff. Let me tell you something. I am a grown woman. I do not vape in front of my kids, and my children are grown. Things like that would be a deal breaker for me. My babysitter, I don't want them smoking cigarettes, vaping. Even though I vape myself, my kids' babysitter, absolutely no, 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 no. Everything about that shit is just wrong. And then written all across your YouTube page, former junkie, this and that, like, oh, like, mm-mm. And the baby, listen, let me tell you something. The baby's in a better place now. And like I said, if the parents was dropping that kid off for days at a time, like what I was told today, that she was keeping this boy for days on end, he's in a better place, and he's resting in peace. Yeah, and then if you're gonna have your pool outside too, make sure you have it covered and stuff like that. But it's easy to Monday night quarterback, because I wasn't there. So like I said, I feel bad, because like I said, nobody's perfect. It's sad for real. It's really, really sad because the child is gone. But I'm just not gonna have nobody threatening. You know what I'm saying? If I confirm something, I confirm it. It is what it is. It was put out here, so it is what it is. But like I said, I was just wondering with Jay Wilson, who was he talking to? So I'm just trying to figure out, is he talking to me? He's talking to somebody else? I mean, put it, as you say, put a name to it. Put a name to it so I can respond to it. And I'm not mad. I'm not beefing. If you speaking to me, even if I hit your link, I'll say what I gotta say. But I'm just not gonna have nobody sit back, and especially with Megabus, all the dirty, nasty shit that she does to people. What a complete, utter fucking nerve to think that you can tell other people what to do or what they shouldn't do when nobody has ever done worse shit than what the fuck you're doing and what you've done to people. Oh Lord, yeah, he said he was gonna go live and talk about it. So I'm gonna come and listen to hear what he has to say, and then prepare myself to bed so I can get me some rest. And I will be back tomorrow because I definitely want to respond back. I'm just trying to figure out, like, I don't even understand how people are up in arms. Like, they're all up in arms because people are discussing the fact that this lady is in prison or jail or whatever for manslaughter. If you're mad about something, I think y'all should be mad that she was getting paid to do a job such as babysitting, but instead of babysitting, she was fucking nodding on live, and a child lost their fucking life due to her negligence and being clearly over medicated, or mixing a little of this with a little bit of that. Which update you talking about, hon? I was just saying, and I mean, to be honest, yeah, and you do have to be tapered off of it. But like I said, who knows what's what with that? Because I've heard some people say that they go and sell that just to go buy the other shit. Just so when they go piss, they pass it. I'm not saying she was doing any of that, but just all of that is just wrong. Like, you got all that going on right there, and you taking care of other people's children. And this is not a one-time thing. This is just where it happened, where there's no coming back from this. But it could have happened before, where you're losing kids at the park and all that other shit. So by sweeping it under the rug would be basically telling her to come back and continue to babysit children. She don't need to babysit nobody kids. Unless they go, like, she could babysit them fucking reborn dolls, babysit them motherfuckers. But anything that's live and breathing and needs to eat or whatever, she don't need to babysit them. Yeah. And they sympathize with her because she 56 years old. She ain't no motherfucking elder. She ain't no older than the rest of the people in that age bracket. Basically, shit, she ain't too far from my age bracket. I'm almost 50. So I said what I said, and I'm standing on it, and that's it. I'm standing on what I said. All right, that's it, guys. I will ooh, I said what I said. I'm going to stand on that. No, Peter, she was only 56. That's what gagged me. I bullshit you not. I'm more shocked by her being 56 than the kid being deceased. I'm not even shocked about that part. I was shocked about her being 56 years old. I said, my God. Mm-mm. Well, yeah, that part too. And then to hear all the other stories that people was telling about stuff that happened while she was, in day, doing the daycare and stuff. Honestly, I had never heard anything before this. So had I previously heard it, I would have been probably watching and saying something, but I never really had watched like that. And when I did see her with the kids, I seen her like giving them a bath, putting powder on them and stuff, just little stuff like that. So, but then I will watch her sometimes having that music all loud while she was babysitting. I thought that was strange, but I digress. She's not a victim, I know that much. I will say that. Doesn't mean I gotta beat her down or whatever, but I think by people saying nobody should be doing this and nobody should be doing that, it's kind of crazy that they say nobody can talk about it when up to now I've never even said what Tita's name was. I never said Tita's name. I never said the deceased child's name. I never even said like the age of the child. I just said infant because they said infant. So how is this story affecting anybody when I ain't put no newspaper article along with it? So why are people all worked up? I'm confused. So again, I'm gonna go right back around because I just feel like people are giving it too much. Like, what are y'all really worked up with? I ain't put her mugshot in the thumbnail. What's the problem? She said she was a prostitute. Those are things she's talked about before. And she was saying that she was basically doing that to get like drug money and stuff. You know? Well, DC Purple Diva, you're older than her. Of course, you look younger than her. But if there was something that people needed to say about you, they're gonna say it. They wouldn't give you a pass. So we giving her a pass because she's 56 years old. That don't make sense. Oh, you can't go live, uppity? Why? Did somebody flag you? I'm not gonna put her name out there, but I'm sure if I was to pull like a rap sheet up, it probably would be longer than my goddamn arm. Yeah, I do remember her saying that she was straight for pay for money. I remember her telling those stories and stuff. And I understand everybody can't afford childcare, but they do have programs. They have childcare vouchers. And I mean, maybe right now with funding, maybe it's closed or whatever. I don't know. But all I can say is just try to do the best that you can do. And I know it is hard as parents. Sometimes you send your kids where you can afford because you have to pay bills. You got to eat, you know. Everybody doesn't have it just given to them like that. So I do sympathize. Yeah, her mother actually looks younger than her. Her mother looks like, you know, maybe should be her she looks like she's the mother to her mother. So it's kind of crazy. Like she even has a son that's not that old. So you wouldn't think that she would have, you know, teenage child, not with how she looks or whatever. But you know, you can't be a victim and then be nasty to people either. And that's the problem with people. It's people that are genuinely nasty towards other people, and then when something happens to them, suddenly people are supposed to have sympathy for them. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, her mom is pretty. And yeah, the drugs, smoke, age you, and all that other stuff. El Blue, you're right. I see a picture of her even with the teeth in, and I promise you that might have gave her like an extra 2 year, maybe 2 years younger. She still looked too old in my eyes. I said, damn. I mean, you can tell she been through some things in life because it shows on how it aged her. And I'm quite sure this is not going to help because, like I said, the guilt that she's going to have for what she did, I don't think it's nothing that anybody on this YouTube that could say that could make her feel worse about herself than the guilt is going to make her feel. So I don't think nobody really has to punish her or air her out. Like nobody has to get like crazy about it because I feel like she's her own worst enemy. She's her own punishment behind this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to like beat her down with it, but at the same time, I'm not going to be having some little child. And when I say some little child, I'm talking about J Dunn. You know, sometimes when you want to help somebody, sometimes it's best to be quiet, because sometimes what you do is you harm people more than what you're helping them. And that's the whole thing. J Dunn's the one running off at the mouth, and that's why so many people are speaking about it, and it's not going to stop. And that's because of her, because that's how she is. So I can stop talking about it, and it don't have nothing to do with her, because it had nothing to do with, oh, I told her I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get a lawyer and I'm gonna. You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do a goddamn thing about it at all. Yeah, and I feel like people have been respectful about it. I haven't seen anybody get really downright disgusting about it. Of course, they ain't told her to do none of this shit, because she always taking upon herself to do something. Nobody likes her in real life. And she just feels so happy that she was in on this secret. The fact that you celebrating your Judy is in the pen for manslaughter, knowing as soon as you find out what was going on, I know you were fucking screen recording, downloading. If you wrote her jails a letter to prisons, you done already copied that shit and made extra copies of the letters that she done sent to your fucking ass, because you waiting for Mad Day. Soon as Tita don't do something you want her to do, soon as Tita get out of jail and don't hit your goddamn link so you can exploit her for fucking money, you gonna be the first one. Oh, why you was? But I did this. And then that's when you want to put everything out there. You ain't no friend to no motherfucking body. Because if you was a friend, remain a fucking friend. If you were supposed to keep it a fucking secret and shut the fuck up, you should have shut the fuck up and still continued to keep it a fucking secret. You see what I'm saying? You didn't have to admit to it. You didn't have to say I've been knew about it. You could be playing dumb like how you playing dumb with your own court case. You know how now you acting like ain't nothing going on, and you done already won, and you trying to act like they didn't throw the case out and all that shit. You know, all them lies you've been doing with your own court case. You could have did that same shit with fucking Tita court case. But nope, you had to be seen and you had to be motherfucking heard. I'm sure she don't, child. Don't nobody like her for real. Don't nobody like her for real. She be so-called everybody friend behind the scene, but she the only one that's friends. She the only one in a friendship. She don't realize what she calls friendship, they call motherfucking contract. That's what they call it. They call it a stream of income. Okay, let me see. It says, we were on Hoes with a Heart last night just discussing the situation, and there were people practically in tears about it. Then J Dunn drops down talking about we were over here doxing people. Baby, we ain't doxed nobody. Didn't dox not one person at all. Not one person. And I haven't said the kid's name. I didn't say the parent's name or anything. There's a lot of people on here who know. And then they said, well, what they said, I commend all the people for not saying anything for so long and keeping it a secret. I guess. I mean, the things people gotta brag about. And then we seen with and I know they back cool now and everything, but we seen what J Dunn did with 7 Star Family. So we're not gonna sit here and act like she's a victim either. I know what she didn't try to do with my own family. So she, you know what I'm saying? You can't sit back and do that shit to other people and then get mad when it gets done to somebody that you like. It don't work like that. Yeah, well, this is the thing. Now that it's out, right? Has she gave anybody the address to send Tita a mail, or has she gave anybody because you know a lot of stuff is electronic now. So have she gave anybody the information so that they can send Tita an email in prison? Have she direct you? Even what's her name, Jamila? Even Jamila at least came out and said, "Hey, can I drop Tita's cash app?" That's what she asked Jay Wilson. To me, that's what's being a real friend, trying to make sure your friend got some money coming in because bills still got to be paid whether you in prison or not. But also having the money to just survive in prison. Because if you over there with a vape stuck down your throat the way Tita would keep that thing stuck down her throat 24/7, just having that type of money for e-cigarettes and whatever else. So at least Jamila did that. But instead, we'll have Megabus done. Nothing. Nothing but make me want to get grimy just to teach her a lesson. But I'm not going to do that. Not because I can't. You know what? That crossed my mind too, to be honest. I felt like the whole story about people saying she passed away, that was kind of like a setup just to make people start like researching or whatever. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Well, you know what? That's true too. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. When you keep your eyes glued to the keyboard, that shit drains your eyes and your body too. When I find myself on StreamYard too much or whatever, I feel more tired just from my eyes on the screen. That's why a lot of times when I'm listening to other people on panels or whatever, I'm not always just sitting there reading the chat the whole time. That shit can drain the hell out of you. But I kind of feel like it's really something to that. As far as that information dropping in chats, I really wouldn't put it past if that wasn't her. And it did cross my mind. It really did. And probably because she was itching to talk about it, she was also itching to be welcomed back on platforms. Because of course, they want to talk to her. Well, what did Tita say? Have you talked to her? And what's the lowdown and what's the this and that and whatever and what her family's saying. So she might have went ahead and sold Tita out just to be a part of a story. She is that pathetic after all. The person who said the rumor about her passing, they said it was one of Tita's moderators, but I don't know. I can't think of the person's name. I don't know right offhand who the person was, but I'm like, why would that person say that? And then people say, well, she haven't posted anything in 8 months, so think about it. I'm like, well, that don't mean that somebody passed away. And then it was, well, no, this person said this. So I think a lot of people was dropping information, and I think they wanted it to get out there, whether it was her or somebody else. Most people with any type of conscience, their sympathy is going to be for the child. So some people may have felt that way. I believe it. I believe she dropped it. And she is that kind of person. She would do some shit like that. Yeah. Gotta protect your kids, teach them how to swim, and also too, just because I'm not gonna put out certain information, it doesn't mean that other content creators are not gonna put it out. They may have already put it out. I don't know if the child's name has been put out or not. I mean, I know what the child's name is because it was in the story. And I was surprised about that because the child was underage. So I didn't think that they would have put the child's name in there. So, you know what I mean? Just because I don't do it don't mean somebody else ain't going to do it. I ain't sending Tia or her family not one goddamn penny. I'm not rewarding anybody for bad behavior. I'm not doing it. She can eat what the prison got for her to eat for 18 months. And when she eat that food, that can be a reminder too to pay attention to what the hell is going on, because this ain't no one-time thing. She was doing this shit repeatedly and doing it with other kids and not paying attention. And I just wish that somebody would have said something ahead of time. And I understand why maybe some people didn't, because sometimes people can feel scared or nervous to say that something is wrong because they're afraid of being attacked. It's kind of hard for some people, especially the newer people. Nobody wants to stand up for what's right. But all of that shit where she was going to sleep on lives while she was babysitting before and losing kids at the park and all that other shit, this shit should have been put to an end a long time ago. Oh, somebody dropped the baby name and age. Okay. Yeah, she do have HIV, and it's just so many things. And that's another thing too. You right about that. I'd rather that the mom get the money, because guess what? Even when it came down to putting that baby to rest, who had to pay for it? The parents had to pay for it. You know, and they might have had to do some stuff like do a cremation because they didn't have the money. Well, maybe they wanted to do a burial. Who knows? We don't know. But I personally don't see no reason for anybody to donate to anybody. I know I'm not donating. You know, I'm not donating at all. This only confirms why if my kids ever have children, which they really don't want to have kids, I will make sure that I'm with my kids. Between me or the other grandparents together, I don't want my grandkids going to nobody's childcare center. Yeah, I found out today about losing the kids at the childcare center. And then even by them saying like nobody should be doing this to Tita. Y'all don't remember how Tita went and did all them fucking interviews on that lady from Real Housewives of Potomac and was telling all that lady business? They probably do have a GoFundMe. It's been said that the child was a family member. Don't know if it's true or not. One person said it was the grandchild, but then somebody else said that the kid wasn't really blood related, but they were real close, so they were like family. So I don't know which one is true or not. Child, you got all kind of shit going on. I know that's right, Fifi. That's the best place for them to be honest. I was telling them earlier, I'd be like them Africans and take that thing and swallow the hell out that baby. Baby ain't going nowhere. Oh Lord, you seen the picture of the baby? I didn't see it. I don't want to see it because this is already like kind of tearing my head up. So if I see a picture, that'd be even worse. But all I do want to know, was the child black or white? Because I feel like the kid was black. The reasons why she didn't get a whole bunch of time. See, the thing is, I'm not mad with Vivian, but of course Vivian lied to me, which makes me think, well, what type of friends are we? Because she's basically, well, one, she didn't tell me the truth. So she never even told me that this shit had happened or whatever. And then when the thing with Tita passing away came up, That's when I reached out to her and was like, can you call and make sure everything is okay with Tita, because people are saying she passed away. And she's like, oh no, she fine. I spoke to her. She came up with a whole story on what Tita was doing, which was absolutely not what Tita was doing. And I guess that's called being a good friend. So I'm not like really too mad about it, but I don't understand volunteering and a lot, because I didn't ask you what Tita was up to, so I don't know that. I guess that was y'all storyline or whatever. But like, you don't have to make up a story to me like that. I don't appreciate. I'm just gonna be honest about it. I want y'all to see this right here. Tracy Whitehead. The reasons why they argued on the Housewives show is because Tia kept falling asleep while watching Maya's children. And if you ask me, this is why they want to sweep it underneath the rug, right? Because Tita only got them little 18 months. They gave her that because they looked at it like, poor old lady, this is a one-time thing. They don't know this has been an ongoing thing, and why they sitting back and was deleting all of them damn videos of them times when Tita was falling asleep and all of this other shit, right? So y'all see. And you right about that with the neglect. They always take those child's life like they not, you know, a whole human out here. So this is crazy. And maybe that's why they want to sweep this underneath the rug, because they don't want that lady to get word about what's going on. If everybody can sit and act like, oh, she's just busy doing this and doing that, nobody has to know. So that's what I believe. Some of this got to do with the Maya lady. And so maybe if the courts could prove that this was an ongoing thing, maybe they wouldn't have just gave her 18 months. Because I think they gave her that because they caught her in a lie. Because her first statement to the police was a lie. And then because she was recording, they went back in and went over that as part of, I guess, the evidence or whatever. Now, I don't know if YouTube or the police deleted that video, or if she or gave her family members the password, you know, or whatever. But see, what her family should have did, if they really was trying to play this off, they should have continued to be posting on her community wall and sharing stuff out. That would have been looking a little bit normal, even if she wasn't really going live like that. You know what I'm saying? But at that point, just having the wall so blank for somebody who used to live every day, 24/7, and then constantly up in everybody else's business, you know what I mean? It just kind of was making too many people wonder what the hell was going on. Okay, if it was after a month afterwards, that's terrible. Prayers to you and your family. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I just think that if the police would have had more of the information of knowing that this was an ongoing thing that she was constantly doing, she probably would have got more time than that. Or maybe they are aware. Maybe that's why they charged her with the neglect as well. So even for people to sit around and act like, oh, she was sick with a cold and she had took a little NyQuil the night before and was just tired after the next day or whatever like that. But this is some this is some shit she was doing every single day, knowing that she didn't have no business being in the care of other people's children. Oh, you know what? It could have been. Because sometimes with the prisons, if they're overcrowded, and then also too, like I said, by her having these different health issues, a lot of times they hate to have to take care of people in prison, where when it comes to certain health issues, by law, you have to give them that medication. That can become like a burden for the prison because their thing is to really make money off of you, not for them to have to pay all that money out. So that could be true too. But even with her phone, obviously the bill is still being paid, or either all of these other people are connected to her daughter, because obviously they've been having conversations this whole time. But I sympathize with the people who are content creators, even the ones who like her, they was there watching the live that day. Because I'm quite sure they gotta be, if you got any type of heart, you should be traumatized from knowing that a live you watched, a baby was there dying while the person you're subscribed to was fucking nodding and sleeping. See, I'm gonna get pissed the fuck off. Let me get up off of this. Yes, I agree. It is a cautionary tale to all the mothers with young kids to be mindful instead of beefing. Yes, there is a bigger thing behind this. There's too many people on here who have young children and just all kind of other stuff. The ones who beefing so hard that even when they driving, they can't take their eyes off the fucking phone because they have to be live streaming to clap back. All the risks that people take for some people that you don't even know. There's a bigger motherfucking message behind this, and I don't think we should miss it. And I think by not talking about it, we're doing a disservice to not growing as a people from it. You know what? I'm gonna look into that. Well, not look into it in that way, but I'm gonna see if I see anything about that. But that very well may be a part of it. Yeah, and that's the thing I'm talking about. Like, what about those people? Because I know one person. I know one person who was watching the live. I know one person who was actually calling Tita to try to wake her up. So this is not something where I'm not going to say that there isn't more than one victim, because there's a lot of victims in this. I mean, how many times as subscribers are we sitting up here in people's chats and they falling asleep? Maybe there's no kids there, but what I'm saying is it's a regular thing. It's become norm almost now where people are falling asleep on lives. You know, so I'm just gonna wait and hear back from Jay Wilson, because I'm really trying to understand. Um, they've done this shit to people's family members, mine, James, so many different people's family members who are not even here on YouTube, and nobody was outraged about it. But this lady who's here on YouTube with us, it keeps her mouth on everybody, whether she knows them, doesn't know them, whether they've done something to her or not. Now we're all supposed to just run around her and kumbaya. Well, maybe everybody will do that. I'm not. Love says, I was watching the live, but I don't remember the baby being there. Oh, okay. Yeah, she was live. That's how the police was able, at least from what I heard. What's up, boo? Hey, Sonny. Yeah, so it's just something to think about, y'all. Like, summer is here, and let's just be a little bit more cautious. Even with all of us, even with me, if I'm feeling like I've been on here and I'm tired, if I'm on here and I'm listening to a live, or if I'm doing a live and if I feel tired, then I don't need to go out there and get in my car and go and drive. Like, it's so many different things that we all should take something from this situation, and just remember that being live for that moment is not the most important thing. And it was neglect. The Sim says the sector always shows its true colors. The select outrage about certain situations just proves the BS people really be on. Yup. And then what it always is because I'm the one that's bringing the information to you. If it came by anybody else, they'd be out here dragging, ragged, tagging, and doing all of this shit, laughing and doing whatever. So they're just so selective, you know? They're so selective. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. You guys have a good night and enjoy yourselves. We'll talk tomorrow, guys. Bye.